Good evening to our esteemed speaker, our executive member, and everyone gathered here. Welcome to another inspiring session of GCT Talks. Tonight, we're excited to bring you Season 7, Episode 31, Unlocking the Future of Supply Chain and Careers. Supply chains are the hidden backbone of industries, shaping economies and creating incredible career opportunities. To shed To shed light on this fascinating field, we are honored to have with us Mr. Kapil Varadhan S, a proud 2023 mechanical engineering alumnus of GCT Coimbatore and the cost control manager at Hyundai Motors. Mr. Kapil has a proven track record in optimizing supply chain processes and managing resources efficiently. His insights into industry trends and the essential skills for excelling in the core sector are invaluable for aspiring engineers. Let's give him a warm welcome as he takes us on a journey to explore the opportunities and advancements in supply chains.
Thank you. Thank you all. Nehal, is it okay if I can start from here?
Yes, Esana, you can start.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes.
Do me a small favor. Remember, we are 10 minutes before the session closes. Just drop me a time check message in the chat box so that I don't exceed time.
Sure, now I read.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, people. Okay, you guys are giving me nostalgia of online classes because this is how online classes look like. Can I have a few more videos turned on, please? If you guys are comfortable or in a place where you can turn your videos on. It's okay if you guys are in your night clothes in your house chilling. You guys, it will be more interactive that way is what I feel. So it'll be great if you guys can have your video on. Thank you, Neha. As a host, I know most of you are forced to do it, but others, it'll be great if you all can turn your video on as well. I'll give you guys 1 minute to settle down in some place. Have your videos on so that it feels more like a classroom conversation than me taking a section or something. I want this to be, imagine this conversation happening in open auditorium. Like the guys are sitting down and there, the guys are sitting in a circle and we're having a chat. I'm just going to talk about what supply chain is, how I got into supply chain, what is that for all of you in supply chain, etc. So I'll be able to connect more with you all if you turn your videos on. Cool. I'll give you guys some whenever during the session you feel like, okay, Anna bore ridiculous, so I think I can turn my video on. You guys can turn your video on. Meanwhile, if not for videos, can I have at least audios? Can I get a hi from all of you? Hi, people. Hi, GCT.
Hi, Anna.
Hi.
Hello, Anna.
Great. Great. That was easy, no? That was cool, no? Great. So throughout the session, it will be great if you all can keep interacting with me, either through text in the chat box or through voice. Like anyway, just keep interacting. Let me know that you guys are there. Because mine is, I'll be honest, I don't have a PPT, I don't have a video, I don't have any presentation. It is just me gonna talk to you all. Without any delay, let me get into the topic. Supply chain. I'll be very honest. I'll start with a small story about how I got into this field. When I was in college 4th year, I had no clue that there was a field called supply chain. I think our education system down south, especially in and around Coimbatore, etc., does not give value to fields out that are supporting the core industry. So we all know the core industry. Everyone looks for core jobs. We want core opportunities, core companies. I want to get placed in automobile industry. I want to get placed in electrical industry. But we are unaware of the industries or the sectors that support the core industries, be it supply chain, be it IT management, be it SAP, be it data analysis. We are unaware of the fields that support the core industries. And when I was in 4th year, first semester, that is when I was in my 7th semester, I wanted to do data analysis. And then half of 7th semester, I wanted to get into core industry. And then I started preparing for GATE. And then I was like, no, I'm going to drop all this. I'm going to do MBA. So I think all of you might be in more or less of a situation where you're figuring out, okay, what do I actually want to do with my life? It's very confusing, honestly, and it's very hard because we meet 100 people around us and they give us 1,000 opinions, and that confuses us more. So I was in such a confused state when Hyundai came for placements. When Hyundai came, I had no clue to supply chain. I was like, okay, Hyundai is coming, it's a core company. I'll just give it a shot. First round, cleared it. Second round, GD was there, went well. Third round, fourth round, fifth round. HR interview comes. HR interview, they ask questions about pricing and all. They ask questions about if like they're asking questions like if there is a buyer who sells you a part for 10 rupees and our company profit requires you to buy it at 8 rupees, how do you negotiate and all? I'm like, I have come for a core company interview. I was preparing for stress strain curves, thermodynamics and all, but you guys are asking me this. Somehow managed, got placed. 2 months into placements, we got our departments allotted and they told you are in procurement. I had no clue what procurement was. And then they gave us a brief that procurement is you will be purchasing the parts that are needed to make a car. I was like, cool. That seems simple. That seems straightforward. In my mind, I was just thinking I'll be calling up companies that sell tires and I'll be like, hey, we want so much tires a year, this, that, and all. I thought, okay, pretty simple, good pay, it is going to be nice. And then I go in, I get allotted the only department that has no technical relation to it. It was costing. So I am working in a department called costing. I'll give a very 1-minute brief of my role. My role is, it sounds very interesting, but actually isn't. But my role is costing, which is I calculate the cost of a car. So if a car is going to get launched, like right now, I don't know how many of y'all are following. 3 days back, we launched our own EV car. Hyundai launched Creta electric vehicle. So Hyundai launched EV. So I was a part of the pricing project, which means we've been working for the past 6 months to calculate how much does it take to manufacture one Creta EV? How much do we sell it for? What cost does it take? How much does each part cost, etc. I never knew this was a part of a mechanical engineer's job. I kept asking myself, I studied so much of core concepts and I'm doing this. Is it worth it? So this was where I am. I'll pause my story here and continue it at various points of our session. Now coming back to what is supply chain. I want to hear from all of you. Any clues? What does it come to your mind when I say supply chain? What do you think supply chain is? You can explain in very simple terms. You can just be like buying and selling things, buying and giving things, whatever it is. What do you think supply chain is? You guys can type as well. If you're like, okay, I'm not going to unleash my inner voice today. You guys can type. It's okay. Just simple terms. Just to know that how on what understanding all of you all are there, so that I can take it up more. Getting something from A to B. Great. Very clear, very simple. That is the objective. Point A to point B, I get something. I'll just wait for 1 more minute. It is about product distribution strategies. Yes, 50% product distribution and product more about how, okay, distribution as in that way. Yes, product distribution. It does make sense. One more response and I'll continue. Product moving among different kinds of people. Interesting, a very unique thought. Yes, a lot of people are involved, a lot of dependencies are involved, a lot of vendors are involved. Cool. Now I'll tell you guys what supply chain is. Supply chain, imagine supply chain to be event planner. Like if we guys are hosting, right now it has become a trend, right? It has become a trend that if we are hosting a wedding, we give it over to wedding planners. Okay, someone else has got process involved in manufacturing and sales of a product. Yes. To make it a little more defined, I'll say it's the process involved in between manufacturing and sales of a project. Like somewhere in between it is lying, but great answer. Thank you. So as I was saying, supply chain, imagine it to be like a wedding planner. Like right now it has become a trend. Whenever there are weddings, people give it out to wedding planners. So what is the role of a wedding planner? Now this is a very easy question. This is not even technical. I want at least 5-6 people to drop in things. If you are a wedding planner, what are the things you need to plan about, or what are the things you need to make sure happens? What are the things needed? Top. Simple points. Wedding planner. It's your best friend's wedding, and you guys are planning for it. Food. Proper planning of events. Great. Decoration. Venue. Awesome. What else? What else is needed for a wedding? Photography. Okay, these are the things needed. Thank you for your response. Next question. Now, how do you choose? Like, right now I'm choosing food. I want to bring in one good food caterer or catering service. How do I pick? What are the things I'll do? Budget and experience, yes. Estimated count, yes. Previous experiences, amazing. What else? I'm picking a caterer for my best friend's wedding. What else should I keep in mind? Affordable and value for money, yes. Almost everything is covered. I'm waiting for just one key answer to come in. One word in specific, probably. We'll also be looking at the quality of the food, right? Quality. Wow, great. On cue. Thank you. So we are going to look at all this: budget and experience, estimated count, previous experiences, affordable and value for money, quality. Trust me if I tell you guys now know what supply chain is. You guys have understood the roles and responsibility of a supply chain person. This is all it. Like, this is how you relate. So in supply chain, if there is a person, now I'm just going to draw parallels. One, we were talking about weddings, and two, now I'm coming to my own company's example, manufacturing a car. So Hyundai manufactures cars. Cars are our products. So if wedding is the car, all your venue, decoration, photography, and food, all these are the parts of the car and the processes in the car. If I'm going to need, for making a car, I need n number of parts. Okay, fun fact to all the engineers out there. Approximately how many parts does it take to make a car? How many parts do you think it takes to make a car? Like including screws and nuts and bolts, probably. Major parts. We'll keep it simple. Okay, major parts. Forget all the hardware, screw, nut, and all, you leave. Major parts. How many parts do you think does it take? Can I get a few numbers? Saturday evening, all of you are watching something on Sun TV. Is something interesting running? Not sure. 20 to 30. Okay, just a guess. It's okay. So approximately 100, around 100. Great. It takes almost 7:45. Close by. It takes almost 1,100 plus parts to make one car. And I'll tell you how. So you have tires. You think tires come just like this? Tires have wheels in them. Wheels have balances in them. And all these are put together in a support system. So like this, there are around 1,000 approximately parts. Oh yeah. Vivek did prove not just cars. I think lorry also, in one of the things he proved how many parts are there by putting it in a SARC. So Vivek has a lot of credit for us. So 1,000+ parts. To bring 1,000 different parts from different people in one place and manufacture them as one car, that is what a supply chain's role is. All the car companies that you know, I'm taking automobile as an example because I'm working in it and I have pretty good experience there. All the car companies, say Honda, Maruti, Hyundai, till great companies like Benz, BMW, Rolls-Royce, etc. All these companies, in a way, they do not manufacture cars. Honestly speaking, none of them manufacture cars. They assemble cars. All companies, 85% of the parts come from outside, from other companies, which was a mind-blowing fact when I came in. Before I joined Hyundai, my mindset was, okay, there are engineers who are there in Hyundai who make parts. There's someone making a steering wheel. There's someone making a cluster. There's someone making an AC. There's someone making a gear shaft. But then now I come to know that 85% of the parts are actually purchased from outside, which means major value of a car comes from outside. That is why supply chain is a very critical role. Supply chain involves making sure the part is got from a trustable source, a quality source. Exactly what you guys told. See, first person told budget and experience should be seen. What is budget? Cost. So I can't get the steering wheel of a Benz car for a Hyundai car. That will shoot the cost up. I'll have to look at my budget. My budget for a steering wheel is 1,500. So I'll have to make sure I purchase it within the budget. So budget is clear. Experience. What is the experience the user should feel? What is the estimated count? How many cars am I manufacturing per year? Per year, Hyundai manufactures 773,000 cars, which means if each car is going to need one tire, if I'm going to put 4 tires in a car, it would require almost 30 lakh tires per year. So if I'm going to buy tires from Apollo Tires or JK Tires, they should be able to provide 30 lakh tires to me. So estimated count is important. Previous experiences. I have purchased a seat from a particular person, but I've got a lot of customer complaints. Do you think I'll go ahead with the same seat again? I'll have to switch vendors. So previous experiences come into place. Affordable and value for money. It is very self-explanatory. We'll have to make sure the price we are paying is a price worth it. Finally, quality. Is the part proper in quality? Is it meeting the standards? When talking in engineering terms, there are certain standards that a part should meet. For example, if I'm bringing in a new part, it should not rust. If it's a metal part, it should not rust. If it is a plastic part, it should not break. So there's a lot of quality checks that we do. So being in supply chain, you do all this. Why did I spend so much time explaining all this in detail? Is to just let you people know, anyone who says supply chain does not have technical role in it. Why did you study engineering and you're going into supply chain? For people who say all this, tell them, when you're going for supply chain sector within a core industry, there is as much as technical involved as there is in production, manufacturing, quality, etc., other divisions. So supply chain does have a lot of technical aspects in it. This is for people who want to look for opportunities in core industry. Now, coming to the beauty of supply chain, is it there only in the core industry? No. Any industry you take in the world, it has a supply chain sector in it. From a normal shop, like if you're running a normal departmental store, in a way it has a supply chain, because a departmental store will buy rice from a particular shop who will be providing rice to it. A departmental store will be buying perfumes from a particular shop. So all these managed by a person. They might not know they're doing this, but in fact, they're working in supply chain. From normal departmental stores to pharmaceutical companies to e-commerce companies, be it Amazon, Flipkart, any web giant you take, any automobile sector, any manufacturing sector, banks have supply chain, financial sectors have supply chain, government has supply chains, transport agencies have supply chains. So supply chain is present everywhere. Supply chain has its foot everywhere. That is one of the biggest advantages of working in a supply chain, because say you're someone who was interested in core, you go into a core company for supply chain, you don't like it that much. You're like, no, probably technical is not my thing. You have a very good opportunity of switching to a non-core sector easily. Because can the host mute that person? Is it possible?
Yes, Anna, I'll do.
Sure, thank you. So supply chain is omnipresent, supply chain is present everywhere, and you guys can easily move from not just company to company, but sector to sector. So I'm just talking about the advantages of being in supply chain. These are the various flexibilities that you get to offer. And is supply chain the right time now? I would say yes. The last, from the past previous 3 to 4 years, ever since COVID hit, supply chain has taken a major boost, because coronavirus was the first hindrance in supply chain in the last 15, 20 years, major block in supply chain, because globally people shut down. But how do manufacturing industries run? See, IT companies can do work from home, but if you have to manufacture a car, you'll have to be there. The parts has to reach there. So supply chain took a major hit, and that is when there came innovation in supply chain. And that is why there is a requirement for engineers in supply chain right now. AI, ML, all the data analytic tools, everything is coming into play in supply chain right now, because people have understood a major global pandemic can stop supply chain right now. Just to tell you an interesting scenario, I'm not sure how many of you all know this. There was this ship called Green. Why am I not remembering his name? Evergreen, if I'm not wrong, Evergreen was the name of the ship. So that got stuck in the Panama Canal between Egypt and this. So there's this small canal, Suez Canal. So there's this small canal, and the ship was very huge, and it just got stuck between both the places, locking the land, locking the water passage. It is just one ship. It just got stuck for around 2 weeks ish. Global supply chain halted because of that one ship getting stuck there. There were manufacturing industries in India reported over 10% loss in production and value. There was a huge semiconductor demand that happened because of this. Be it great companies like Samsung and Apple got affected because of this, because of one ship stopping in one place. A very local example, Chennai floods 2015. It halted supply chain in India completely, because 80% of rubber and tires are manufactured in Chennai. So when Chennai floods came in, all the industries got affected. Indian supply chain took a hit. So all these are proving you the criticality of the supply chain industry. Okay, I'm going in a very, very, very one-dimensional talk. I just feel like I'm talking. Want to quickly know, with whatever I've said, how many of you all feel like, okay, supply chain sounds interesting, maybe? Okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Cool. Now, supply chain, I've told you basics of what supply chain is, etc., and how my role is and what other people do within supply chain. Now coming to what might help you, since most of you all are like in college, third year, second year, final year, especially final year students for placements, etc. What do supply chain companies look out for? And at any point, if you guys have any doubt, whether it's regarding my like whatever I'm talking, or even if it is unrelated to it, or randomly, or like, Anna, I'm just curious to know how this process happens in supply chain, or how this happens, just drop it in the text box and I'll surely clear it for you with whatever I know. So coming to placements, do supply chain companies actively hire? There are certain companies that are dedicated for supply chain. The only thing that they do is supply chain logistics. So there are these global companies who do only logistics. Do they actively hire in colleges? No. They mostly look out for master's degree or work experience people, and they hire MBA, operational research people or supply chain people who have an MBA in that. That is for companies that are fully focused on supply chain. But now talking about the companies that are core companies or any other company, but they have supply chain as a division in them. Those companies come to your colleges. They come to our college as well. A lot of companies, be it Hyundai, be it any automobile industry, they come for supply chain roles as well. They do not outright mention it, but they come for those roles as well. So college placements is a way to look out for. Second thing is off-campus. Supply chain generally has the active off-campus hiring more than college, because people feel for supply chain, you need not have a very strong technical knowledge. You need to have some level, but if you're like, I know basics of technical, I have pretty decent communication, I'm good with working in data or talking to people, convincing people, then supply chain is the right role for you. What are the skills needed for supply chain? What do you think is the primary skill needed for supply chain, for anyone working in supply chain? What do you need to have? Negotiation, great. Communication, perfect. Anything else? Anyone thinking, okay, some other skill might be needed? Making decisions based on data, management skills, analytical. Great. I'm really liking those two answers, analytical and making decisions based on data. Dinakaran, you are almost accurate. To put it in a funny way, the basic skill you require to get into supply chain is Excel. That is what I've learned in the last 1.5 years. Excel has become, for people who think C program, Python are the skills you need for getting into companies. Yes, they are very vital, not gonna deny that at all. But my personal advice to every single person here, irrespective of what field you're gonna go, be it supply chain, be it core industry, be it IT, be it management, even if you're going to do UPSC and get into government job, it's okay, irrespective of any department. Please, please, please learn some basic of Excel and PPT. PPT also is fine, it's okay, you'll figure it out. Excel basics, just learn how to work with the data. I'm not even talking about data analytical skills and preparing dashboards and all, but basics of Excel. If I have a chunk of data, how do I derive something out of it? Learn basic of Excel. It is, trust me, from a person who's just joined industries and just completed my placements, 1.5 years, whatever I've seen, every industry requires an Excel work after you've joined. So do in this meeting, if you're not taking anything back, it's okay. Make it a point to get some understanding of Excel before you pass out of college. You will shine. You will outperform others if you have that basics of Excel. Trust me. Cool. So that was one. And now coming to all the other skills that you mentioned: communication, negotiation, management, analytical, statistical knowledge, all this. Along with this, a few more skills that I think would be required. One is pitching. I have an idea. How do I pitch it to others? In what form of data do I represent it? You can be a good artist. You need not even be great at Excel, drawings, PPT. There are different ways of pitching. Some people are good at talking and convincing people. Some people need pie charts. Some people need graphs. Some people need artwork. Some people make videos. Everything is your way of conveying your idea. So pitching is a very, very, very important skill for supply chain, especially. Management skills, communication, negotiation, it all comes under this. Basically, supply chain is you getting your work done at the time you want, through the buyer you want, through the place you want, at where you want, who you want, why you want. All the questions based on how you want, or based on, in this scenario, the company wants. The company wants this part at this cost. How do you get it? That is all supply chain is about. Okay, any doubts until this point? I'm going to pause for 2 minutes for doubts. Any doubts until this point? If you guys have no doubts, just can you drop no doubts in the group? It'll be great if people ask doubts. It'll be interesting. It'll be a cue card for me to tell you more things, share more things, because I don't know what exactly you would want to know. Whatever you're curious about, please drop a message. Be it anything, I'll try answering that. Have you learned Excel from college itself? Final year. I was a little late to start, but final year, thank God for clubs. Like, I think clubs were a really important reason why I started learning, because we were hosting all these intercollege events, culturals, etc. And there were a lot of data coming in about participant details and all. To sort that only, I started learning Excel. So I think, please, like if you're a part of any club in GCT is great platform for you to upskill yourself. Any person who asks me what is the strength of GCT, there's only two things I'll say. One are seniors and two clubs. These two are the pillars of GCT, which you do not find much in other colleges. A lot of people might blame our infrastructure. A lot of people blame our education system, staffs, etc. I feel, irrespective of all that, we have great support systems, be it clubs, be it alumni. So please participate in as much of clubs, events as possible, be it any club. So yeah, as I was saying, Excel I learned through clubs in the final year event, etc. Basic YouTube videos. Don't attend courses. Please do not waste money on courses. Attend YouTube videos, ask from friends, figure it out yourself. Chat GPT has come. Do it yourself. And I'd be more than happy to help you guys with Excel. I can take once in a while, I can help you guys with virtual classes on Excel. I'll be more than happy to do that. But yeah, does supply chain imparts play a major role only on production industries only, or does it involve R&D too? A little bit of R&D, like not a lot of R&D, but there is R&D supply chain come together in a lot of places, because when you buy a part, you will have to know the reasons behind the design, the why is it made that way. Only then you can negotiate. If, for example, I'm just saying how a cost is calculated. For example, we'll take the scissors. No, scissors is a very lame example. I'm sorry. We'll take this water bottle. To make this water bottle, we need two parts. One is the cap, one is the bottle. The bottle is given by a different supplier and the cap is given by a different supplier, just for example. So the cap supplier says, this will cost you 15 rupees. Now, as a supply chain expert, how do you validate that this is worth 15 rupees? We can't do what we do in Brookfields or Lulu Mall by saying, if it's 15, I'll get it at 10. There's no negotiation that way. Negotiation happens with technical knowledge and R&D. So you'll be like, okay, this material is this plastic with certain grade of plastic. That grade of plastic per gram, it costs 1 rupee. This cap weighs 6 grams. So totally 6 rupees is its raw material cost. In between, they're doing some threading work that is being done. That process will cost you this much rupees. For labor, I'll have to give him this much rupees. He has profit. So totally this cap can be given up to 9 rupees, but he's quoting 10. That is where you negotiate. You start asking him for details. How much does it make? So technical comes in here. This is how your technical aspect of your studies in R&D come into supply chains picture. So supply chain does have a lot of interesting scopes in it. Next is Anna, say a few words about resume that is expected by the company. For supply chain, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll take this one question in the last. I'll generally talk about resume, group discussion, and HR interview for supply chain and in general. Just remind me in the last. I'll talk about resume. Next one is, Anna, can you talk about supply chain of Blinkit or quick commerce? What do you think the future of quick commerce? quick commerce has like drastically rose. I'm pretty sure every one of us have wondered at least once in our life, how does Swiggy, Zomato, or Blinkit, Zepto make profit? We keep wondering, right? Like, see, I go to a shop, I buy 5 things, it costs me 100 rupees. I order it on my mobile, it costs me 110. But these guys are doing so much. We keep wondering, how do they make profit? So that is where a lot of things like advertisements, partnerships, profit margins, negotiation, all this come up. And supply chain is the major role here. Your entire industry of quick commerce is built over supply chain. Future of quick commerce, at the moment, it will definitely boom. See, until people are lazy, quick commerce will be a thing. Like that'll be scope for quick commerce. When people are lazy, quick commerce is high. Corona made it more easier for them. Lockdown, people got used to ordering stuff home. Quick commerce boomed a little more. So quick commerce is the thing for the future. But quick commerce will evolve. How will it evolve? Because Amazon has recently started drone delivery. So drones are going to deliver things now. So soon they'll do that for Swiggy, Zepto, etc. It'll become easier. There'll be a lot of AI coming in. So technically, for people from CSE, EC, IT backgrounds, this is where your scope comes in, making quick commerce into a technologically smart industry. That is the role of production, mechanical, and other student comes in. It is in the role of making these ideas possible. So this is where all come into picture. Share your interview experience. That's a very interesting question. I'll again answer that later. Supply chain of GCT, clubs and seniors. Yes. Have you cleared all the rounds to get, how have you cleared all the rounds to get into supply chain? Again, interview question, I'll answer later. Anna, is it possible to reduce the final cost of the product if you reduce the size of supply chain? And interesting question, really true. You have no idea how amazing this question is, because I'll tell you an example. Again, it might make you guys wonder. For Hyundai, again, confidential information. So I'm changing the names of parts and places. We are buying a part. Say, for example, we are buying a steering wheel. We are buying it from China. So China is sending the steering wheel to us. So from China, they make the steering wheel, they send it to us, and we'll attach it in our cars and send. Imagine, I am telling you guys, the cost of that part, if I buy it here, is 1,000 rupees. Like from China, if I import it, it's 1,000. If I import it from Korea, it will become 800. The same part from China, I send it to Korea, and from Korea, I'm bringing it. I'm not buying directly from Korea. From China, it goes to Korea, and from Korea, it comes here. The cost reduces, which is interesting. So why I told this is supply chain is very, very, very fragile, and the way you order things is important. The thing that you told is it's true. If I reduce, if say the part comes from one company to the other company to the other company, the cost might reduce, might go up. Depends on the profit margin they keep, depends on the logistical cost. Some people have high transportation costs, some people have low transportation costs. So it depends on a lot of factors, but your thought process is true. The number of people, if it varies, the cost might go up or down depending on how fragile the supply chain is. If the intermediate person is a country, say China, this is where India comes in. True. Anna, can you talk about scope of EV industry in India and the chances of getting into it as a fresher? EV industry is going to boom a lot. But is EV the future? What do you guys think? What is your feeling? Is EV the future or IC engines the future? I just want, or what is the future of automobile industry? What is the future of automobile industry? Where do you see the industry going? Probably EV. Great. Okay. Everyone agree to it? Everyone says it's going towards EV. Is anyone having any other answer to this? Hybrid also. Exactly. This is the answer I was waiting for. EV, EV is a very, very, very long-term dream for the world right now. I mean, hybrid is the current sector. Like at least for the next 10 years, hybrid cars will be the future. That is where everything will come in, because IC engines, irrespective of all the pollution, everything we talk about, IC engines have become an integral part of the industry. So we can't just immediately remove it and bring EV in. And EV is facing a lot of challenges, especially in India, because in India, we do not have semiconductor resources. We do not have cell manufacturing facilities. We are importing everything. That is why the cost of EV cars are so high in India. Hydrogen is definitely one of the future. Hydrogen, Hyundai has one hydrogen-based car called Nexo. Not sure how many of you all know that, but yeah. So since semiconductor industry is not even present in India, EVs, it will take time for EV to put their authority in India. But yeah, definitely EV is one of the futures, and chances of getting into EV as a fresher, a lot. I'm not sure how many of you all know this. Jaguar and Land Rover, as a joint agreement, have put a new manufacturing plant in Ranipet for 550 acres, dedicated especially for EV. Hyundai has started EV cars. Tata has just started EV cars. Mahindra has launched their very own EV. Almost all major companies in India in the last 1 or 2 years have only started EV. So EV will definitely be a great chance for freshers to get in. What are the challenges supply chain engineers can face? Challenges supply chain engineers face. Interesting question. Depends on the project you're working in. It is very dynamic based on whatever project you're working in. I'll tell you, as simple as how many of you here are familiar with just-in-time concept? I'm pretty sure, but they collapsed the Jaguar iconic logo. Yeah, Jaguar's logo is gone. Okay, coming back. I want any one of you to unmute, please. Like so long I've spoken. One small break I'll take. Anyone to unmute and say, what is just-in-time concept? Pretty sure all of you would have here or there come into picture. What is just-in-time?
Excuse me, Anna.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Anna, no, that it is like, sorry for the interruption.
Sure.
The meeting is scheduled for 1 hour, and we'll have to end
I
up.
did see the message.
We have to end up by 7:30 along with the word of thanks, Anna.
Sure, I'll wrap it up in 5 minutes.
Yes, Anna, you can take till 7:27 like that.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Since we are running a little bit of time, I'll just quickly explain. Challenges supply chain engineers face, majorly stock shortage. Suddenly there'll be a shortage of stocks due to various reasons. See, you buy parts from a company. For example, Apollo Tires, I'm getting tires from. Every day they are supplying tires. Suddenly, Apollo Tires go into a lockdown. Like they are like, we are not going to working, we are going on a strike. So your supply chain system is affected. You don't have tires from Apollo. You can't immediately switch. Okay, if not for Apollo, I buy from some other company. You can't do that. You'll have to check quality, cost, agreements, etc. So stock shortages, vendor issues, global issues. Suddenly, someone else becomes the prime minister, and they feel like, okay, no imports from China anymore. Your supply chain is affected. There's an earthquake in China. Your supply chain is affected. So major challenges are geopolitical issues and stock-based issues. Pricing is very dynamic. All this that. But most of the companies present is making profit this way, right? Because here at Siemens, their vendors are direct manufacturers, especially in PCB, and for maintenance, they're mostly importing from China due to cost. Yes, a huge part of the manufacturing industry in India depends on China for a lot of their parts because of cost. So the dependency is very high. Now I'll just go back to interviews. I'll quickly wrap it up with resume and interviews. That is one major thing I wanted to talk about. I'll keep it very fast and quick. I'm sorry. Resume. When it comes to your resume, point number 1, have a sharp photo. Like your photograph speaks a lot. Have a picture in the resume. Don't neglect the picture, because picture speaks a lot. Picture speaks volume. It shows confidence. It shows you're ready to present yourself in front of others. So have pictures in you. I'm saying all this because I have had a chance to get a glimpse of a HR interview within our company, and I've seen the checklist that they've had. So most of the companies in HR, these are the things they look out for, and these are the reasons why. So have an image in your resume. Second, the text. Usually there's this one text that you write below your name. I'm an enthusiastic engineer. I'm a great analytical thinker. All that. Keep it as genuine as you can, because trust me, they'll be able to know if it's ChatGPT or not. If it feels even 1%, if they feel that is not your content, if 1% they feel you've just ChatGPT that content, they would not prefer you. Like, because they'll feel that 3 lines of text is about you. If you cannot express about yourself, it will be looked upon as a major disadvantage. So kindly, please make sure that you type it out. Third one is mention have multiple resumes. That is my suggestion. Have a resume for supply chain jobs. Have a resume for core jobs. Like, it will be very helpful if you're attending, say for example, Hyundai is coming. Your resume should include projects or competitions or events you manage or whatever that is somewhere related to automobile sector or your industry or something. It might not even be directly related. Say I'm looking for a job in supply chain, I can just put out one point in my resume saying that I was a part of the LDS club and I hosted XXY event. And I was the sponsorship management there. So they'll have a spark. Okay, this guy's already dealt with cost. But say I am the same person, but I'm attending a different interview where I'm applying for a technical job. I'll change that to I was a part of Baha team, or I was a part of the IEEE team. I was a part of the coding club. I was a part of here. I was part of that. So our college, that is what I'm saying. Be in 1 or 2 clubs and learn from those clubs. Use those learnings here. So this is the holistic information. Have multiple resumes for different companies based on what they might look for. Fourth tip in resume, when it comes to skills, don't put a lot. Maximum 5 to 6 skills. 6 skills you mentioned. Do not keep mentioning a lot. I'm not including your programs or softwares node. That is different. I'm saying skills. People management, time management, punctual. Please do not include skills like punctual, etc. They're not looking for that. I mean, they're not looking for that in a resume. Mention skills that you think they will need. People management, negotiation, cost control, etc. So have skills like that. Search for skills. Understand what skill is required by that job, which you can provide. Do not lie. You'll get caught. But what skills you can provide. So this is the resume. Have multiple resumes. Coming to interview processes, before you attend any company, like if you're going to the 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round, etc., take half an hour. Please take half an hour to read the company's website, to know what the company does, what products do they have, what services do they offer, where are they located, what awards they won, what kind of people have worked there, check previous LinkedIn profiles, what comments have they made, what are their posts looking like. Please spend 30 minutes into this. It will really come into help when you're attempting the interview, because you know what kind of people they're searching for. You will really know if the company is looking for someone who is introverted and just does work, or you'll know if the company is looking for someone who's outgoing. That will be visible for 30 minutes if you spend time researching about them, watching videos of the company, etc. So please spend time. This is just a basic gist of it. I'm really sorry. I think I pulled off my first session so much that I have to rush through this second. But I think even post this official session, if we can connect offline, anyone, or even if this call is open for 20, 30 more minutes, unofficially, if you want to ask any doubts, I can stay back and clear like sessions, doubts, etc. I can also share interesting incidents that have happened in the past 1.5 years. Trust me, I've learned so much about supply chain through this. And I would love to talk. I love to talk, which you guys would have known by now. I love to talk more about all these sessions in near future. Anytime any company is coming, be it supply chain or not, if you guys feel like you have a doubt, like drop me a message. If you guys feel like you have a doubt in getting permissions for auditorium in our college, drop me a message. If you guys have any doubts in our like anything, or if you guys just want to talk, if you're like, hey, I'm feeling like I'm having a bad day. I just want someone to listen to. You can drop me a text and we can connect. I can talk to you. last 1 minute, I think, thank you so much, GCT Talks, for giving me this opportunity, Alumni Association. I'm very, very, very glad that I've seen the list of people who've come here in this platform and spoken, and I feel I'm nowhere compared to those people. Like they're all legends living out there, alumni legends. So I am very glad I have gotten an opportunity to talk in this forum. I hope every one of you have gotten at least something to take back from this session, and I'll be available for future doubts anytime. Thank you so much, people.
Thank you, Mr. Kapil, for such an enlightening session. Your journey and expertise in the field of supply chains have been incredibly inspiring. We are sure the practical advice you shared today will empower many young engineers to make informed career choices and excel in their paths. I would also like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our backbone, Mr. Pradeep sir, for his continuous support. And I would like to thank all the audience, both the gSARC and non-gSARC members, for your cooperation. As we close, we extend our heartfelt gratitude once again to Mr. Kapil Varadhan S for taking the time to share his knowledge and inspire us all. A big thank you to our participants for joining us this evening. And we have few more minutes. Anna, you can...
If anyone has any doubts, you can just shoot it.
And I would like to ask a question.
Sure, sure.
Recently, I was I had an idea of pursuing career in the supply chain. And
Great.
One of the senior told if it will be better if you go for a master degree and then you get into this field. So what do you tell about that, Anna?
It is a double-edged sword. Definitely on one side, it will be helpful. Like say, for example, a master's degree in supply chain itself or operations research, logistics management. It'll definitely help you. Personal suggestion, if you can do the master's 1 year or 2 years after working, it will be even more powerful because now you have the work experience and then get into the knowledge. So you'll be able to relate what you study. And that will be very, very effective, which is something I'm also planning to do. Majorly for MBA cases, this is. But if not for an MBA, if you're planning to do an MSc or an MTech or an ME in either of these fields, then you can do it immediately after college. But if you're planning to do an MBA, then I would recommend personally that you can do it like 1 or 2 years after work experience. But for MSc, MTA and all, you can do it now.
Yes, Anna. Thank you.
Anyone else? One final question. Someone asked something unofficial, no? I mean, we've like spoken a lot about professional stuff. One unofficial question. Anyone has anything? I hope college, things are great at college. Cool. I think, yes. Hi, Karthik.
Now, may I know about your college life?
College life, 1.5, 2 years in 1.5, 2 years in COVID. So online classes that just disappeared. And the remaining, I had the first year and the final year in college. So somehow was able to have a great college experience. Again, coming back to it, majorly it was clubs, multiple clubs that I was a part of, that my friends were a part of. So clubs were a major portion of my college life. Along with it, it was all seniors and juniors connect. My first year went completely with roaming around with seniors, and my final year went completely roaming around with juniors. And that is how our college is, which is a very beautiful fact. So college life was majorly that. I am not a very studious person. I didn't study much. So college life went like that. Thank you. It's 7:30. Hope you all have a great Saturday evening and a relaxing Sunday. Chill, have fun. I hope you guys can connect later. I've dropped my number in the chat box. You guys can ping me anytime for any support or any help. I stay near Chennai, somewhere near Chennai. So anytime you guys come there as well, if you want a place to crash, you guys have this. So thank you so much for the chance, people.
Thank you, Anna.